everyone. My name is Dacia McDonald. I'm the Adult Programming and Community Engagement Librarian at Keshen Goodman Library. Many of you have visited our branches of Halifax Public Libraries and enjoyed food programming. Today, we're offering something a little different. Today, I'm going to share with you a recipe for carrot soup. It's affordable and helpful and can be made with minimal equipment or tools, just a pot, a knife, cutting board, and you're ready to go. As part of my role at Keshen Goodman Library, myself and other staff visit the bi-weekly markets to make food shopping a more social event and share recipes and other fun activities with the community. If you're interested to know more information about the mobile market, visit www.mobilefoodmarket.ca. On my last visit to the mobile market, I picked up some carrots and garlic and ginger, and it inspired me to make my carrot soup recipe, which is a favorite of my family. In fact, we love soup around here. I learned to make it with my grandmother many years ago. We have a recipe that hangs on our dining room wall that is her recipe written in her handwriting for tomato soup, and that's another favorite that we love to enjoy as well. I mentioned this was very economical. This recipe, I would say you could make it for under $5 for the entire pot, and that's about 12 bowls of soup. So, and you can adjust it as you wish for your tastes. But I've added carrots and potatoes and garlic and ginger, salt and pepper, butter and olive oil. You can also substitute the potatoes for cauliflower or anything else that you like. I haven't added fresh herbs to this recipe, but that's another option as well if you choose. I started by rough chopping my vegetables. I did peel my carrots because I prefer that. I find it's a little bitter if you leave the carrot peelings on. And these are full, large carrots. I don't find it tastes as good if you use the little mini carrots. These have a lot more flavor. So again, you can see that they're large chunks. Because this soup is going to boil down a lot, you don't have to worry about cutting it up finely. And as for the potato, if you had rougher skins on your potato, you can certainly peel them down. But I like these nice thin skins, and I've just chunked that up about the same amount. So you can see I have a little bit more carrot than the potato. I'd say it's about 3 cups of carrot to maybe 2.5 cups of potato. And again, I mentioned previously that you could certainly substitute the potato for sweet potato or cauliflower or anything else you can think of that you might like. I've also chopped up the ginger here and the garlic and the shallots, and you'll notice this is a lot of ginger. It's quite a large hunk, you know, probably about the size of your hand palm or half the size of your hand palm. We like a lot of ginger, but certainly you can adjust as you see fit and to your taste and to your family and friends' taste. I'll probably not put all of this in. I'll probably add about 4 to 5 tablespoons of ginger. Again, that's quite a bit by some people's standards. Garlic as well. We like our garlic, so we add in a lot. And shallots. You can certainly use onion. I had shallots in my pantry, so that's what I opted to use today. And I do actually really like the flavor of it. They're worthwhile giving them a try. Leeks are another thing that make a great flavor in this soup. So you may notice that I do not have stock. And because all the vegetables boil down and you keep all those nutrients in there and flavors, I don't use stock, but you certainly may. It's actually a very expensive addition to this recipe. A box of stock can sometimes run you $3 to $4, and especially the box things at the store, sometimes the nutritional value might be a bit questionable. If you had some homemade stock at home, just leftover vegetables that you've boiled down and taken the liquid off, I'd certainly add that into this recipe, but I'm just going to use all these fresh ingredients today along with some salt and pepper and butter, a little bit of butter and olive oil, and yes, and that's what we'll do to make this soup today. So I'm going to get the pot ready to saute the ginger and the garlic and the shallots. As you can see, I'm not a precise kind of a chef, and this isn't even a real tablespoon, but I'm just going to put in about 2 to 3, maybe just 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a little bit of butter, maybe a tablespoon and a half of butter. And You can do this to your taste. You can use either or both. I find it's really nice, the richness of both, so I often add both ingredients. I'm going to put my ginger in here now, and I said that I would add probably about 4 tablespoons of ginger. And there's the ginger in there. It's okay that this is a little bit larger than you might normally use, because this is going to cook for a while and it'll get soft, and you may opt to blend this soup at the end, and in that case all the ginger will get mixed in with the soup. And I have my shallots here. This is about 3 shallots. Again, this is to taste, so I'm just going to dump these shallots in, and you can see they're pretty big hunks, but I'm going to saute this. So I have my garlic and ginger and shallots in the pot, and you can hear it sizzling away here. My heat is at a medium-high heat, and once it comes up to temperature, I will turn it back a little bit to medium or a little less than that. And these are going to get really nice and cooked down. So you can see the garlic and ginger and shallots are really starting to cook down, and they're quite soft now. I'm going to cook them for about a minute more, and they've been cooking for about 4 to 5 minutes. The smell is really lovely, and I'm going to be getting ready in a moment to put the water in the pot. So I've added about 4 to 5 cups of water, cold water, and I've turned the temperature back up to medium-high. And you can see it almost looks like a rich broth in there, and I'm going to let this come to a boil before I add my vegetables. So I've brought my water with the garlic and shallots and ginger to a rolling boil, and I'm just going to drop in my vegetables, starting with the carrots. Next, the potato. Another option would be to roast mini potatoes and drop them into the finished soup as well. That can be really delicious. Going to boil for quite a long time, probably 35 to 45 minutes, until the vegetables are very soft. And as this is boiling, I'm going to add my pepper, which is about a teaspoon of pepper. You may like less, probably not more than I like. We like a lot of pepper. And I prefer sea salts, but any type of salt will work. And this is about a teaspoon and a half of sea salt. When the soup is done boiling, you may want to add more of either of these as well. So the vegetables have boiled down, and I did have to let them cook a little longer. They must have been newer potatoes and bigger chunks, and it took a little while. So they've probably been cooking here for about a total of an hour, and they're quite soft now, and some of the water has boiled off. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the heat and mash them with my potato masher. I've already tasted the stock, and it's well seasoned. I don't think it needs any more salt or pepper. But another spice that's really nice, that goes nicely with carrots and potatoes, is thyme. And if you wanted to put some of that in while it was boiling, you could have done that. I didn't do it. So I'm just mashing it down. You can do the consistency that you want. The other option too is to food process or blend this with an immersion blender or another type of blender if you have that. I like the chunks in this soup, so I'm going to opt just to do this, and it's easier too if you don't have that equipment at your disposal. This is the consistency that we prefer, bigger chunks, but you can still see the vegetables there. It almost looks like a very thick, it's not a thin soup, it's quite thick and hearty. I'm going to go ahead and serve some up. So there's the soup there. Some people, this is dairy-free and of course vegetarian, but some people might like a dollop of yogurt on top of the carrot soup. That goes very well together. Maybe a sprinkling of fresh dill. It's very good. I hope you enjoyed this segment. I really hope you give this soup a try, and maybe we'll see you soon at the library or at the mobile food market. Bye for now.